Balloon Beats.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Live. Joined here tonight by Paris Gives, Xenofontos, and Sean
Yo, you
Pitcher.
don't even have to introduce me at this rate. Like, honestly,
How are we doing tonight, boys?
we are less than 7 days away from game one of the wild card series. And instead of fighting for home field advantage, the Yankees are looking like my little league baseball team at this rate.
They look like my high school JV team. When I was on JV in high school, this is
High school
exactly what we
JV is
played
like such a compliment to them right now.
No, easily. We're starting off things hot as far as comments
right.
go. Before we can even break down,
we're
the
just
game,
getting rid of everybody.
get rid of Sanchez and Boone, and hopefully it's Tanaka's last year. Okay, first of all,
Whoa.
No,
this is not Tanaka's fault.
The second one's an L.
Tanaka is our second best pitcher in this rotation. You're not getting rid of him.
Easily.
And he's the best postseason pitcher the Yankees have had since who? Mike Mussina and Andy Pettitte.
He's one of the best postseason pitchers in baseball. Probably the best right now.
Did you see the graphic they put up?
Yeah, I mean,
See
lowest
the
opponent average. But let's talk about the game tonight. Absolutely an atrocity. I don't think, obviously Tanaka didn't have his best stuff tonight. I think he had he had 3 walks after he's only had like 5 the whole season. Shout out to Sean for that because, of course, before the game, he had to go in our group chat. Did you guys know Tanaka only walked 5 guys all year?
No, listen, hold on.
Well, explain yourself, Sean. I'd love to hear that explanation.
I'm just watching the game like everybody else.
Yeah.
And I see his stats come up. I'm like, oh, wow. 5 walks. I don't know if, that surprised me.
Denial right now. And when we called
then
you
he
out
just
on
has 3 walks tonight out of nowhere, right?
That's not really a jinx. Like, it's on everybody's screen to see.
All right, regardless. I mean, Tanaka didn't have his sharpest stuff tonight, but I mean, he got super unlucky as far as
the defense let him down.
The defense was so sloppy tonight. I mean, 4 errors. 4 errors when we're less than a week away from the postseason. That's unacceptable. As this team is supposed to be fighting for home field advantage, they're coming off a game where they scored, 12 runs last night, and they're playing like absolute garbage tonight.
Yep.
And the Rays just clinched the division for the first time since 2010 right now.
And we have our death lineup. We've had our death lineup.
Remember when we actually were 16-6 and we were first place back in the beginning of August? Oh,
yes, sir. I remember that. But it's like
that was a fun world to live in.
This team is so bipolar. Again?
Yep.
Bro, Eric Kratz is pitching for the second time in a week. That's pathetic.
That's a problem.
That's a serious problem.
That's a problem.
Like, it was kind of funny in Boston because I'm like, wow, this is like a once in a lifetime kind of thing. Second time.
No,
in
it's
a
not.
row.
Yeah. It's a twice in a week kind of thing.
I guess we're gonna hear Eric Kratz tell Alejandro Kirk, "Watch out."
Yeah.
I really can't with this team
I think
anymore.
it was look out.
But it's not even like the defense was sloppy and they made up for it with the bat. They didn't even hit tonight. The offense was completely missing in action. And like we said before, this is the death lineup. DJ has 2 hits, but other than that, the lineup is combined for 2 hits tonight. So you take DJ LeMahieu out of that lineup, we have 2 hits tonight.
But see, the thing
Against
is,
Robbie Ray, who entered this
Bro, I
game
was
with
just
almost an
about to
8
say,
ERA.
Robbie Ray.
Come on.
but see, the
We're not
thing is,
facing Cy Young.
the Yankees have had so many opportunities in the last, I would say, 5 or plus years with runners in scoring position where the game could go in their way, in their odds, and they still don't capitalize. In the last 2 weeks, I think Gleyber Torres has been at bat with maybe runners on second, third, bases loaded, and they only scored 1 run based off of either a ground out or a double play. It's honestly to the point where you can blow these teams
Did Danny
away.
Jansen just hit a home run off Kratz?
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
The second of the
Keep
game.
piling it on.
This is the second
And
of the
Danny
game, right?
Jansen is batting,
batting,
191 on the season.
I was gonna say he's
So-
batting like 204 for his career and like 330 something against the Yankees.
But yeah, this is another thing. Bases loaded, no outs in the 5th, and they couldn't get one guy home with the heart of the lineup up. Like, come on. It's like once Luke Voigt went cold, no one could do anything.
Wait, did Kevin Smith just make that comment?
Kevin Blith?
Bliff.
I'm sorry about the last name, but I appreciate you watching us right now with being supportive of us, so we appreciate you.
But bro, like something has to change as far as this team goes. I mean, like we said before, they're way too bipolar. This doesn't work in the postseason. You can't score 10 runs one night and then turn around the next day and take your foot completely off the gas pedal. It just doesn't work like that. And like I think it was Sean that just said it, this team can't play on the road. It's like we look at their home and road offensive splits. I put something in the chat before, and it's just ridiculous. Where is it?
It's really
The
bad.
Yankees are a better home team than they
Here,
are away team.
They have a 545 slugging
Easily.
at home and a 371 slugging on the road. A 371 slugging. That's ridiculous.
I hope we never have to play in Buffalo again after tomorrow. First of all,
I want
if
to
you
cry.
really look at it,
I like how as soon as in the first inning, the ball that went over DJ's head, we all go, all right, it's one of those nights. And then it was one of
that
those-
was the epitome of all right. I think I put it in our group chat too. Once that happened, I was like, "Yep, it's one of those nights." And once that happens, all hell's about to break loose. But there was one play in particular that kind of made me completely shake my head at this team, and it's the ball where Tanaka threw over to first base. Luke Voigt completely whiffs on it, goes to grab it, throws it to second. Great throw, perfect throw. Would have been out by a mile. And Gleyber Torres drops the ball. Is Gleyber Torres like a starting shortstop in your guys' eyes or no?
No, he's
'Cause
not.
I'm going to say
Taking
no. I
offense
don't
out
think
of
so.
the
I think
strictly
he has to be a
defense.
second baseman.
But then what are you going to do for shortstop, though?
You have to find a solution this offseason. Francisco
Lindor.
Lindor.
I mean,
do you want to hear something interesting about Danny Jansen?
Wait, pause. I knew Parrot was digging up some crazy ass stats
Yeah, 'cause he
because
wasn't
he
saying
looked so focused at his phone. I knew something was up. Hit me with
I
it, Parrot.
looked the last time the Yankees lost the first game of the last time they were in Buffalo, and they lost the first game of the series in Buffalo this week. So Danny Jansen hit 2 home runs tonight. The last time the first time the Yankees lost in Buffalo about 2 weeks ago, Danny Jansen hit a grand slam.
Wait, what?
So Danny Jansen hit 2 home runs tonight, right?
Yeah.
So in the first series they played in Buffalo, the Yankees lost 7-12, and
Yeah.
Danny Jansen hit a grand slam in that game.
Yeah.
that was a 10
He's
run
been-
inning, right?
Yeah, that was a 10 running against Otto, right?
Why do we make guys who nobody even knows about or talks
He
about?
only has 4 home
Like-
runs on the year.
No, it's 6.
Jesus Christ.
6 now.
What do you mean it's six? Oh, well, it wasn't up to
Oh, no.
6 on the
it's-
year.
Oh,
And 3 of them are against the Yankees. That's just
Bro,
like
I
Kiermaier,
swear
how he
to
has
God,
4
the
and 3
Yankees
against the
make
Yankees.
every
G-Man Choi.
guy who's still trying to fight a spot for the roster look like all-stars, and they make guys who absolutely are terrible.
This comment right here. The MLB should have the mercy rule. If I'm being completely honest, give me a 15-run mercy rule. I think that's completely fair. No
'cause
team is
nobody's
coming back
coming
from
back.
15 runs.
10, you can come back. 15.
I
once
think
in a blue
15
moon.
is pretty solid because don't get me wrong, seeing a position player pitch every once in a while is cool, but I don't
They
want to
would
see
have to
Eric
do,
Kratz
like-
pitching this often.
They would have to do like 15 after 7, though.
What do you
After 7
guys, before we get to this other comment I want to talk about, let's bring up this one really quick. The Yankees have, and I mean have never been able to situational hit. It's either go deep or nothing.
I mean, yeah.
I have to say I
but
agree with this.
I would
but
agree
I mean,
with that. Yeah.
it's also, but last night,
As
they
I said,
were
I was
8
saying,
for
yeah.
11 with runners in scoring position.
They didn't
So
hit a home run last night.
No, we saw this team situational hit just last night.
Yeah, exactly.
And now it's like, that's all gone.
they scored
everything's
12
gone.
runs and didn't go deep once. I think
Absolutely
they said
ridiculous.
The last time they did that and scored that many runs was like years ago. It's a long time ago.
Who do you even put the blame on at this point? Because I know I say we talk about the whole Cashman and Boone comments in a little bit, but who do we even put the blame on for this team just showing up
Honestly,
like they're a different team every other night? Do you blame the offense? Do you blame the pitching? Do you blame the
I blame
coaching?
the whole team.
Everyone gets a piece of the blame?
Yeah, because
Everything was bad tonight.
It's a team. It's a team sport because you can't just honestly rely and go to a locker room after beating them up 12-1 playing situational baseball with actually doing it. You can't just be cocky just because you have an awesome lineup doesn't mean they're your guys are going to produce every game. You honestly have to go out and play as a team. You have to be on the same pages together, and you can't be easy on each other. If one player is basically doing terrible, speak up to them. Say what they can improve on. Don't basically say, oh, yeah, we can score 12 runs tonight. We can do it every night. It's not like that. Half the team is not even on the team anymore because they're always injured, bro.
Here's when you guys know you got to be upset because Para and Sean are two of the most quiet people I know. And this is them at their most heated. Easily.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Sean, I've never seen you more heated.
Let's be honest. The first time we actually had a Zoom call with Sean, the kid was quiet the entire time.
It was
just
the
had his
draft,
phone.
wasn't it?
Okay, but there was like
No, he had his
12
phone
of
on
them.
his chest. He had his phone on his chest, and this was him the entire night.
I mean, so back to these comments. What do you guys think about bringing back Didi for next season and play short? Because I
If
know
I had-
we said Glaber isn't really that solution at shortstop.
To be honest with you, if I could sign Didi to a 1-year, $14 million to come back and be the Yankee shortstop, I would do it in a heartbeat. Because the guy was the heart and spirit of that Yankees locker room for his time here.
Can we agree, though, that they made the right decision not bringing him back?
Yes.
I think it was the right move to not bring him back.
Yes.
Hindsight's always 2020. Obviously, we could look back and say, yeah, we should have brought him back. But who would have thought he would have had a solid year in Philly? And who would have thought Glaber would have been this bad defensively?
Exactly. In the moment, I was like, okay, thank you, Didi.
But I would only bring Didi back if the Yankees don't secure a trade with the Indians for Lindor. That's the only way I would bring him back.
Yeah, but we got Jordy Mercer for shortstop.
Who?
Stop.
Jordy Mercer. Didn't he play one game and get sent
he
down?
played
or
like
He
was
had,
it-
he had a pretty clutch hit, though. He had a pretty clutch hit, though, against the Mets.
Yeah. Let's bring up this comment by Vinny Morgan. They're too worried about lifting weights. They have no flexibility in their bodies. You didn't see that in the 80s and 90s, and that's why anyone hardly got hurt. I think that's part of it, but I think it also goes deeper, as in management and coaching. They don't want the guys playing, even if they have a little bit of an ache, just because that's how the game's played today. In the 80s and the 90s, guys played through injuries, without any question. But nowadays,
doing
that's
what
not happening.
Luke is doing. They're doing what Luke is doing.
Like every player did what Luke Voigt is doing.
and I see
and
comments
at this
saying he's not
point-
mobile enough. Well, I mean, that's a big reason right now. He's on 1 foot.
Yeah, I mean, would you rather have him playing on 1 foot, or would you not rather have Mike Ford in lineup playing first base? Pick your poison. But
Yeah.
I do think that the Yankees do need to stop focusing on lifting 500 pounds and hitting 500-foot home runs, because it just doesn't get the job done in baseball. This isn't bodybuilding.
There's only two things the Yankees can do at this rate. And that's stretch and do yoga. Because
You should be their
Lifting-
yoga instructor.
No, you know who
They
should
gotta
be-
do
you
what
know who would
Luke
be a
Voigt did
great
this
yoga
offseason.
instructor for the Yankees?
Is it like a serious person? Because I don't
It's
know any.
Brian DeGenero.
Brian DeGenero. For those of you who watch us every night, you guys would know Brian DeGenero is the best yoga instructor. But I mean, looking at Luke Voigt, he was like the biggest weightlifter. I don't know if he still lifts weights, but there's videos of him like bench pressing with one arm. I don't think he's done that, and that's why he lost so much weight, and
Yeah,
that's why
I
he's been
was
so
listening.
good this season.
Yeah, I was listening to R2C2 today, actually. I think it was like a couple episodes ago, but I was listening to the Voight one today. And he was talking about how he focused on more like cardio and diet and cutting stuff out. And that's how he slimmed down because he wants to be like everything. He wants to be able to do everything well, not just hit
I
home
respect
runs. And I love
Yeah.
that mindset.
I know
Yeah.
everybody has their mixed
All
opinions
need to do
about
that.
Brian Cashman, but getting Luke Voigt from the Cardinals was the biggest heist the
Oh,
Yankees
I mean,
have ever had.
easily.
Gallegos isn't something like
No, but he's not
that,
Luke
but
Voigt
he's
level.
not Luke Voigt. Yeah.
I'd still make that trade 10 out of 10 times.
Don't forget Chase and Shreve.
Oh, yeah, Shreve was in that deal. Shreve is on the Mets now.
He's actually not having a bad year, though.
No, he's not.
He was terrible with you.
Unlike Batanzas.
Oof.
Oh, this is a great comment. This could have us talking for hours. But what happened to Greg Bird? Didn't he
Life happened to
didn't
Greg Bird.
he signed with the Phillies, but now he has like COVID, so he can't even be a part of the
So
postseason
Greg
roster if they made
Bird
it.
signed with the Texas Rangers originally in the beginning of the season, and he got hurt, and they released him. And then
DFA.
he wasn't even part of the alternate site for the Phillies because he tested positive for COVID.
Honestly, like
what-
I'm not even gonna
What do you
lie.
feel bad for him?
I was just gonna say that I feel bad for the dude. Like I think he was the original offensive baby bomber. Him and Sevy came up around the same time, and he was kind of the first batch of the hitters that had potential to come up. And he burst out onto the scene. Like let's
He
not
had
forget
Aaron
going.
Judge levels of hype.
Yeah, let's go into like the 2015 playoffs when the Yankees played the Astros in the wild card game, and I'm still scarred from that game, by the way. Greg Bird had the highest expectations in the world. And then heading into 2016, he was supposed to be like the guy. The guy Greg Bird was supposed to be. Even in
Greg-
2017, high expectations every single year. And then
Greg
he just
Bird had
never
one of the-
fulfilled them.
Greg Bird had one of the biggest home runs in that postseason run.
In 2017.
That bomb off of Andrew
It was
Miller.
against the Indians, right?
Yeah, off Miller, which
Off of
is
Andrew Miller.
like, how the world turns. But I
Wasn't
mean,
that like a 0-0 game too? That was huge.
yeah. Yeah, and that game, the Yankees won 1-0, didn't they?
It was something like that.
That's probably
Yeah, that
the
was huge.
only Yankee postseason game you'll see them win 1-0. Because I guarantee you that'll never happen again.
No
I think
shot.
Tanaka gave them like 7 or 8 strong, something like that. Because that was the game where I think it was game 3, right?
I believe so. I think it was the first game at the stadium.
Yeah, so it was
It
game
was the
3.
first game at the stadium.
They were down 2-0. They lost that. They were done. I remember going into that game. I assumed that they were just dead in the water. I didn't think they had
Greg
any
Bird's-
chance of coming back.
Greg Bird's one of the biggest what if stories. Because honestly, my first game I've ever seen Greg Bird play, it was against the Twins, and he hit 2 home runs. It was like I believe
That
it
was
his
off
rookie.
Irvin Santana, right?
Yeah, and then Irvin Santana had
Yeah.
a big fit because he was blaming the short porch wall.
Irvin Santana. Shout out to Irvin Santana for the
Soft.
2017 wildcard game.
Soft.
Comment here from Jack Maitland. I'm sorry if that's not how I pronounce your last name. But
It's
realistically, how far do you guys see us going in the playoffs? I'll let you guys give your opinion first.
As always, I'm
Realistically,
optimistic. I have them winning the World Series, but if they don't score runs and play smart, I don't see them getting out of.
The
I-
game's over, by the way, in case you guys were expecting a comeback. But yeah, go on.
I don't care.
Because if they beat whoever they beat in the first round, and they have to play the winner of the Blue Jays and the Rays. We know our weaknesses against both those teams.
The thing is with this team is that all year they have struggled to put every single aspect of the game all together in one. One game is pitching is good, offense sucks. Starters are good, bullpen blows it. And
Yeah.
that worries me because there's been probably you can count 20 games probably where they've done that. I don't know what to
Yeah.
expect from this team. I really don't.
If I'm gonna give, because you guys kind of danced around that question. If I'm gonna give my
just said I don't
prediction,
know. I really
yeah,
don't.
but that's not an answer, Sean. I'm gonna give Jack an answer because he deserves an answer. I truly do not think the Yankees are gonna win the World Series this year.
That's
I
kind of what I'm
don't-
getting at.
Yeah, I don't think that that's a crazy statement. Would I be shocked if they did?
No.
No. Do I think
To
they
be
have the
honest with you,
potential to do so? Yes, but I don't think they will.
I think the Yankees were the Yankees the favorites to win, or was it the Dodgers this
I
year?
think it was the Dodgers, but the Yankees were a close second.
They were like, yeah, they're right next to each
They
other.
were like neck and neck.
I feel like the Yankees can go deep into the playoffs. What
The
one
Yankees
thing is
are lucky if they make it out of the wild card series. How about that?
the Yankees.
I feel like they have a
What-
tougher first round matchup than second round.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm not scared of the Rays in the playoffs.
The Twins scare me.
Yeah,
They
the
really
Twins
do.
scare me much more than the Rays do.
And everybody keeps talking about how
I know
the
the Rays are
Yankees
good. but
own the Twins in the playoffs, but a lot of things can change. It's 2020. Let's
No,
not
I know.
forget
That's why I
that.
say
And
that
3
we go into
games in
this every
Minnesota?
year.
And
the
if the
White
Yankees
Sox
play the
pitching
Whites,
Wow. So after tonight, the Twins are going to be in first place in the Central because the White Sox lost and the Twins are going to win.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So as of
White Sox have been bad.
after tonight, we're no longer playing the Twins in the first round.
That's really interesting.
Life works in mysterious ways. We had
Bro,
this in
would
our
you
heads
want-
like the entire time. I think we might be playing the White Sox at this point because the White Sox are on a 4-game losing streak. The Twins are about to be on a 4-game winning streak.
Would you rather? I would say the Twins' offense is better than the White Sox. Not by a
Yeah.
lot, but it's better. But I would not want to face Giolito Keiko game 1 and 2.
Neither would I. But who's their game
Yes.
3 pitcher?
Dylan Cease, I think.
Yeah, but they also have
Am I
that
forgetting
kid out
someone?
of the bullpen that throws 102.
They also have Dane Dunning, but he won't start a game in the. I don't think he'll start.
Ah,
Might be
Yeah.
forgetting somebody.
the White Sox, but also it's like if the White Sox are going into the playoffs on like a 7-game losing streak, like that's a huge positive.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I think Luis Robert has sucked all of September.
Yeah, and that also
Like, he's
gives
been really bad.
if the White Sox continue to slide, all the Yankees need to do is win like a few games, and then you're able to grab home field advantage. If the White Sox continue to suck,
Yeah.
the Yankees once again have that opportunity. So
3
they
games
just need
against
to,
the Marlins.
like, this is why the foot still needs to be on the gas pedal. I understand there's only 4 games left in the season, and you already clinched a playoff spot, but we say this every episode, and I'll keep repeating it. Home field advantage this year is
everything.
probably the most important of any other year. You want home field advantage for a 3-game playoff series with no off days. That's what you live for. That's what you play for.
bro,
Am I
you can say
wrong?
that no, you're not wrong, but say
So
that to the
why
Yankees.
are they not playing like it means everything? Like what was tonight, bro? 4 errors.
They looked like they're in 4th place tonight.
It reminded me of the team that lost 10 straight games.
Because
So you
we
look
all
at the
know
final
what
score.
the situation is. The Yankees are going to go back into the locker room. Boone's going to say, "Good job, guys. That was great effort.
Break out
We'll
the
just pick
Twister,
up back. We'll just pick up where we were tomorrow night." And tomorrow's such an odd starting time, 6:37.
That's what they've all
They've
been.
done that the past 4 games in
That's
Buffalo.
all the Buffalo been.
Yeah. But honestly, I kind of like the 6:30 games. Besides the fact that the Yankees have been pushing these games like to 4 hours because the game started tonight at 6:30. It ended at like 10. That's a 3.5-hour game.
Well, Tanaka had like 70 pitches in 3 innings.
Yeah, but I mean,
not gonna
these
happen.
games haven't been short by any means. Vlad Guerrero once again still killing the Yankees. I'd like to thank Michael K for that because I remember the first series of the season the Yankees were playing the Blue Jays. This man was talking so hot about Vlad Guerrero Jr., saying how much he sucks and all this. He's killed us all season. All season. How many RBIs did this man have tonight?
Good amount.
He had 3 RBIs tonight. Tied with Danny Jansen, by the way.
Danny Jansen, the Yankee killer.
Tony says, but with the bubble format and no fans, is there really a home field advantage for the Yankees? Yes.
In the
Yeah.
first round, it's
Yes.
100% because
not as
even if the
big, but
players
yeah.
have to stay at a hotel and quarantine, they play so much better at Yankee Stadium. If you honestly see last week's series against the Blue Jays at Yankee Stadium compared to Buffalo, the Yankees rake it at Yankee Stadium. So in the first round, it's a completely home field advantage. But come San Diego, if they make it past this first round, it's a different story.
Let me ask you guys a question. Let's see if we can make any let's make a game out of this. Do you want to guess how many home runs the Yankees have had this season in Yankee Stadium?
All right, so how many games?
They've
60?
played 28 games at home.
28
I would
games
say
at
the
home.
Yankees have between 45 to 55 home runs at Yankee Stadium.
I would say that's actually a pretty good guess. I would say 60, just to have a different number.
The Yankees have 64 home runs this season at Yankee
I
Stadium.
win.
Now, in 27 games on the road, how many home runs do you think they have?
16. I'm lowballing them.
Yeah, it's definitely less than 20.
Because I'm thinking about all the times I got blown out and didn't hit
27.
Oh,
it's actually not that bad.
So we're talking a 40 home run difference. A 40 home run difference on the road
Oh, Kevin
and
was
at
close.
home.
He was one off.
Wow. But it's not even that. It's like every aspect of their game. They have a 908 OPS at home and a 693 on the road.
I want
Like,
to ask
come
this,
on.
I want to ask this question to all the people watching right now. Do you think Gary Sanchez is going to wake up in the postseason when he's in the lineup? I want
thought
everybody's
he woke up
truthful.
already. I really thought he did already.
No,
but
he has to
clearly
be
not.
consistent. He has to be consistent behind the plate. He has to be consistent with the bat. So this is for
Sometimes-
everybody watching right now. Do you think
Sometimes
Gary
he
Sanchez
makes,
is going to be a sleeper pick?
Wait, but also, before we talk about that, I want to go back to the home field advantage thing for a minute and the home road splits for the Yankees. I don't think we're realizing, like, even if the Yankees do, as a blessing, get home field advantage for the wild card series, right? Every game after that is practically a road game where the Yankees suck. Even if they have home field advantage where they get last licks in those games, they're not going to be playing in Yankee Stadium. That's not a good thing because they suck everywhere besides Yankee Stadium. Every game this postseason is a road game. Keep that
Let's
in
say
mind.
they do make the
It's a
World
road
Series
game for everybody, though.
Let's
I
say if they
understand
do
that, but
make the
not
World-
every other team sucks as
No,
bad.
I
on the
know,
road.
but I'm just saying, like, maybe the Blue Jays probably have much better numbers than Buffalo, and every team.
Do
has better numbers
you
than them.
want me to check the Blue Jays home road splits?
Yes, I'm actually very curious about that.
Let's say the Yankees do make the World Series. Do you think it's kind of a home field advantage if fans are allowed in and there's a bunch of Yankee fans at the stadium?
It's in Texas, right?
Yeah. And I know people would travel from New York to Texas just to watch the Yankees in the World Series.
Yeah, I would say so. Because the Yankees travel really, really well. Definitely more of an advantage.
It's the Coltrane. The AJ Coltrane.
That's so terrible.
Should I go hop on it?
Wait, I'm trying to find these stats because I'm actually really curious about the Blue Jays home road splits compared to the Yankees. Here we go. All right. So, the Blue Jays home road splits this season. They have more home runs on the road than they do at home. Now, that's also because they've played like 13 more games on the road. But still, their splits aren't as drastic as the Yankees. Their OPS on the road is 721. Their OPS at home is 812. Slugging 412 on the road, 470 at home. So it's not like these splits are as drastic as the Yankees are. And I would assume they're not as drastic for any other team because in Yankee Stadium, like, let's not forget, they're swinging for the fences because they know they can in the ballpark. They know how to play to the ballpark. They'll try to hit a ball right over the short porch in right field. But yeah, that's why I'm concerned. He's the king of that easily.
He just pokes it.
Let me get another one of these comments on here. It's funny.
It's a lot of good comments tonight.
Yeah.
Someone called Paracute. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Let's see. With
Look
the
at
way
his
he's
face.
inconsistent right now, I don't think. Yeah, no, he's definitely pulling up like some godly stat. With the way he's inconsistent right now, I don't think so. Out of the fact that Higashioka's putting good games even when he plays. Cole's pitching. I agree. I mean, at this point, I think if Gary was locked in and he's been consistent for the season, I don't think it would even be a question right now who's starting game one of the wild card series. But now it's also not a question in the other way. There's no doubt in my mind Kyle Higashioka will be playing game one.
He will. Because like if Boone's even entertaining it, then like he's going to.
Yeah, no.
I mean, like if it's a conversation,
been what, 4 starts? 4 straight starts?
I think so. And he's been Garrett
I
Cole.
appreciate everybody commenting on my question. Everybody said no. He's not consistent.
I saw one.
Chris loves tooting his own horn, doesn't he?
I love
Let's see. Let me put this on the screen. Do you think the Yankees should go to Tanaka game 1 and save Cole for the clincher or an elimination
No.
game? Our own
No.
Aaron Gershon actually spoke about this today.
I don't think so.
No. There's
Yeah,
under no
gotta-
circumstances.
I read his
can you do
Because
article, and
think about
Jay
it this way,
Happ
like,
should even be the game 2 pitcher.
I think
like,
that
you
it's pretty
want to go
obvious
up
at this
1-0.
point. Yeah, I
You
think
go
it's,
up 1-0. You
it's
can't
a
go
given.
down 0-1 in a 3-game series. You just can't.
It has to be Cole game 1,
You
Tanaka
got to go
game
out.
2.
You got to punch him in the mouth, and you
Hap
got to
game
win
3.
game 2.
I think that's what you do. Also because it's not like you need to save Cole for anything. Even if Cole pitches game 1, he's still starting game 1 of the ALDS. So it's not like anything messes up the schedule because after game 3 of the wildcard series, they get what? 3 days off? I think it's 2
those are
days.
the only days off until
Those are the only days off
through the
the
World Series.
But then it allows you to reset your rotation for the beginning of the ALDS. But also you need Cole starting game 1 because you don't want to fall behind in the series. Getting that first game is so important because then it's all mental. It's mental for the other team because then that becomes a do or die game next day.
Yep,
And then you are able to put Tanaka on the mound for that. If you're able to put Tanaka on for a clincher, you want to capitalize on that
10
opportunity.
times out of 10, I want Tanaka closing out a series.
Easily. So that's kind of why I don't buy into the hype of like letting Hap start game 2 and save Tanaka for the clincher. Mainly because game 2 could possibly be a clincher.
Could be
Like I think a lot of people are forgetting that it's not the ALDS where it's 5 games. So
hopefully we don't need the third starter. For the
third
World
starter, we
Series.
thinking Hap, Devi, or a combo with the bullpen. I would assume it's Hap unless he shits the bed.
I thought it was. We probably all thought it was going to be Devi, and then Hap has turned into whatever the hell he is now. If he's
Honestly,
pitching,
I think
pitching,
if it's a clincher, I'm definitely going Eric Kratz.
Para, just
Get out.
leave. Just
Get out.
leave, Para. I mean, yeah, no, like before his start against Boston, I would assume it would have been Devi too. But like I said on our live stream the night before that start, what if Devi gives up 6 runs tomorrow? Is he still going to be your game 3 starter? He gave up exactly 6 runs, and he proved why J Hap's going to be starting that game. Now, obviously, if Hap runs into trouble early, I could definitely see them bringing Devi out of the bullpen.
I don't even
without
think they're going to
question.
hesitate bringing him in. Like I think very confident in him. They would just rather him probably not start.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a good shot Clark Schmidt
know.
makes the postseason roster or not at all?
Yes, 100%. Because
No, he'd be
it's
pitching. I feel like no, he would have been pitching already right now.
yeah, but it's
We're
a
gonna bring him up
28-man
and throw him
roster.
into.
It's a 28-man roster, and there's no
He'll
limit
be
on
there,
how many
but I don't
pitchers
think
you
he's-
could have.
I don't think he's going to pitch though.
They're going to need so much pitching. I don't think you guys understand.
Yeah, but think about it this way: how many times has he pitched? Twice, 3 times.
Yeah, twice.
What if
I
his
believe.
third or fourth time in the big leagues is?
If he's not on the postseason main
playoffs.
roster, he would definitely be part of the taxi squad.
All right, so who are you putting in the postseason? Miguel Yajure or Clark Schmidt? Because I'm sure both of them are going to be in the bullpen. Am I wrong?
I mean, hopefully, if they're coming in, we're up 10.
It would probably be down
Like,
10, to be honest with you.
I was
That's
just saying,
the only
Sean,
way
you're
they'd be coming in.
You're the jinx, so
Watch, they're going to be down 10 in game
Pats?
1.
No, listen,
Miguel
Pats-
Yajure walk in.
Pat's jinx was so much worse than mine. I pointed out
Okay,
a stat. He
okay,
guessed
no,
what Devi was gonna,
no. Mine
No.
was not a jinx. It was more like me predicting what's going to happen. You didn't
No, you
predict what's
jinxed
going to happen.
you just
Okay.
said
Totally
Tanaka
different.
has 5 walks in his last whatever yada.
No,
And
I
he
just
gets
said he
3
has
walks.
5 walks this season.
Yeah.
Let me bring up this comment. This whole
This is
conversation
fucking-
would have been mute if Sevi didn't have Tommy John. I agree
Right.
100%.
If
It would have
Sevi
Else
been.
won't be talking about Clark
1, 2,
Schmidt.
3 punches. Tanaka's, Cole, and Sevi. without a
Don't
doubt.
forget about
we-
Paxton too.
I got a question.
Who? No.
Paxton, bro. But no. I'm as much not a fan as Paxton as you, but if he would have not been hurt this year, he would have been solid and would have been in the playoff rotation easily. Let's not forget he was the game 1 starter of the ALDS last year. He had an awesome September when he was healthy, and then the whole back thing screwed everything up, and now he had forearm to whatever. And it sucks that like the Yankees lost 2 of their best starters, and it's even better though that guys like J Happ and Devi Garcia were able to step up, because let's say Happ had another atrocious season this year, I would be petrified for that game 3. But like the emergence of J Happ after the whole contract fallout has made me much more confident in the first round.
You know who I really miss?
Just shut you down. Who?
Tommy Canley.
Ooh, that was brutal. Remember the first week of the season, Baltimore? We were like, "Why is Boone not bringing in Canley?"
We
Next day,
need
we
him,
find out
dude.
Tommy John. No, it's painful. It's also the energy that he provides out of the bullpen. I mean, we miss that greatly.
Yeah. Yep.
So we have a quote from Brian Hoke from Masahiro Tanaka.
Hit me with it.
Masahiro Tanaka said that he warmed up tonight. He thought about it being his last start of the 7-year deal with the New York Yankees.
Well, because it's possible. It's very possible that it could be the last start of 7
I
years.
don't want him thinking like that before he goes out in a big game for us. So
Yeah,
I don't want him thinking about that.
I don't want him going into game 2 of a wild card.
Yeah, I don't want him
thinking,
stepping on the
this
mound
could be
like,
my
oh,
last.
shit, this
Could be my last wild.
No, but maybe you want him thinking that mentality. He
No.
would give it his all. Tell me
He should
not.
give it all. He's gonna give it his all anyway. He
You
always
could
All
play
right,
it
but-
both. You could play it both ways, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really concerned with him thinking that. I think it's very realistic because everyone in the media has been talking about it. Every news outlet today was talking about how the Yankees. There was one article, I forgot who it was from. It's from a major publication that Tanaka time in the Bronx is done.
No, it's not.
That's completely
It's not.
stupid.
No, there's no way.
If there's any starting pitcher the Yankees should be going full throttle after this offseason, it's Masahiro Tanaka. Like without
I'm
a
almost
doubt.
gonna say I'm more confident in them re-signing Tanaka than DJ. Like if they're
I
gonna
would
re-sign
say
DJ,
so as
like,
well.
I'm more confident in them re-signing Tanaka. You can't let him
What
go.
do you think Tanaka's going to be demanding though? Because I would give him like 3 years,
How old is
50
he?
million.
How old
When
is he?
Tanaka signed his deal, was his deal 7 years, $150 million?
7 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would you give him?
If I'm gonna go down the line, how old is he? 30. I would give
Let me
Tanaka a
check.
4-year. I would give Tanaka a 4-year, $80 million deal. I would give Tanaka.
He's 31. He's not that old. Like I don't
I
know
would
why I'm
give-
thinking he's old.
I would give him.
I would give-
give him 4 or 5 years.
I wouldn't go 5. I wouldn't go 5.
I would give Tanaka 4 years, $80 million.
Fifth-year team option, maybe.
I could see that happening. I don't think they would end up picking up the option though, because by then he would be like 36. I don't know how long that UCL is going to handle up for.
Yeah,
But then again, we've been saying that for
honestly,
years. So
He's never gonna get that.
yeah,
You know what? I'm not gonna say anything.
2 years of 40 million, says Tony.
I mean, I would
think
give him the
it's
4
gonna be
years.
at least
These are-
3. At least 3.
As much as some people hate on Tanaka, he's been our ace.
Who
for
hates
the
on
last-
Tanaka?
I
I
want to
wouldn't be
see the person
surprised.
who hates on Tanaka.
If anyone hates on Tanaka, like send me their information.
Yeah,
'cause,
I'm sorry.
That's
You can't.
ridiculous. I mean,
He's done so
not
much
only
for this team.
not only has he faced the backlash of like the expectations. Like obviously he didn't live up to expectations. He was like the most dominant pitcher in the world in Japan. I think he was like 24-0 with a 1.27 ERA. Comes over here, dominates in 2014, has the injury, scuffles a little bit, completely reinvents himself. And he's all dominated for the most part since the injury. And
think
he's
we've-
come up when the Yankees needed him the most.
I think we found the Tanaka hater in our comment section.
No way.
Where? Nowhere.
Kevin, I'm disappointed in you, man.
A one-way airline ticket to Osaka?
Kevin, you were on
What?
fire tonight, man.
Kevin, we were really messing with you, but I mean, now I'm just not a fan because any Tanaka hater should just see their way out. Masahiro Tanaka, I don't even think the Yankees would have seen the ALCS for the past 2 years if it wasn't for Masahiro. I mean, past 2 out of 3 years if it wasn't for Masahiro Tanaka, without a doubt. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Tanaka has been the best clutch pitcher in Major League Baseball, and he's worth every single penny of that contract. I think Nick's proposal is pretty solid. A front-loaded 3 years, $60 million is a fair deal. I think that'll probably get it done. Front-load that deal, and then probably a 4th-year option. Team option would be the way to go.
I mean, all the Yankees have to do is offer it. He'll sign it.
What about James Paxton? Do you offer him like
Yeah.
a 1-2 year deal?
No.
If you're gonna offer him anything, it's 1 year, and I don't know if he's gonna even want that. I don't know.
I know me and Brian had a debate on Chicken Bucket Boys about whether I'm bringing him back or
I don't
not.
think we need him back.
It all depends on if they go for another pitcher, either via trade or signing them. But there's a good chance Paxton might need Tommy John down the line. Like honestly,
Well,
Down the
Like,
line,
going-
maybe. I mean, but James Paxton is so injury prone. You wouldn't be giving him a multi-year deal.
I don't really
anyway.
want to give him any money anymore, honestly.
Yeah.
Because think
But then
about
again,
it.
who on the market's better on a 1-year deal?
Trevor Bauer.
He's not going to. Oh, he actually said he wants a 1-year
He's
deal.
not coming
But then
here,
again,
though.
you have the whole Cole situation.
He's
The
not
Yankees
coming
don't want to
here.
deal with that.
But
He's
honestly, I can either see Bauer sign a 1-year deal to return to Cincinnati or head west to play with San Diego.
San
Who's
Diego
Bauer?
bigs, but yeah.
He's going to go to San Diego. I
Him
don't
and
think
Manny
there's any
Machado are
doubt.
like best
I mean,
friends.
Clevenger's already there. Come on.
Yeah, him
But
and
he's out for the
Clevenger are
season.
like boys.
He's out for the season.
Is he actually out for the season, like officially?
Not officially, but like it's
Yeah.
he has like bicep strains, I think.
I mean, that sucks for the Padres though, because
Yeah,
that's their guy. I mean,
That
they
was
went out
their-
and they
that
blew
was
it
their
all for him.
trade to win the World
The
Series.
Knicks said that the Yankees should offer
Their attempt.
a 2-year deal to Paxton and do it like the Michael Pineda trade signing.
Oh, I see.
1 year
Let
to
me
rehab.
put that over.
1 year to rehab, and
That's not a bad idea, but how
I
much
would
money
rather them do that with Verlander, for being honest.
imagine Verlander
I could
pinstripes.
totally see that.
I've
happen.
hated that man his whole career. But
If he was a
comes to
Yankee, though,
pinstripes,
If they would have traded for him in 2017, they would have won the World
we could
Series.
play that game.
We could play that game.
The if.
I mean,
If-
one player,
if-
if you really look at it, that did a well job with that is the Rays with Evaldi. When the Yankees released him,
Yeah,
he rehabbed
then-
with Tampa. And then,
yeah. And then they trade him to Boston. The rest is history. But then again, they signed him to that deal, which is atrocious. Kevin's got another comment. I'm going back and forth with Kevin about Masahiro Tanaka here. I would only offer Tanaka an extension if he excels in the postseason. You guys are talking about what he has done. Let's see what he's done in the next couple weeks. Okay, obviously,
Kevin,
if
what else?
Tanaka gives up like
No, but
10
that's not
runs
how-
in the
That's
postseason,
not
like,
how you judge someone's like.
but
next
you can only
contract.
assume that he's going to be worth another contract based on what he's done in the past postseason.
Like I'm not
There's
going to
no
take his
doubt
last
about that.
7 years and erase all that because he has one bad start in the postseason.
Yeah. I don't
you
think there's
can't
any
do
question.
that. You can't do
We
that.
can only expect that this postseason we're going to see nothing but dominant Tanaka because that's all he's given us in the postseason. I don't think he's ever given up more than 3 runs in a postseason start, which is crazy
It's something
considering
ridiculous like that.
the starting pitching the Yankees have had in the playoffs. Like we had Luis Severino, who I could not trust with anything in a big game. I wouldn't trust him like with a 2-year-old toddler. But Nick says I'm Verlander's #1 fan if he comes to the Bronx. That's all I'm saying. I'm the same exact way. I mean, right
so
now
is his wife.
it's screw Justin Verlander for life. Not only because the whole Astros thing, but also because it's just the pure cockiness. But if he comes to the Bronx,
If he comes to the Bronx and pitches well, like I'll
it's
forget.
total.
about
Like
that.
I hated Garrett Cole last year too. Like then he comes to New York.
Not
and
as
he's
much
like
though.
the
It wasn't a
king.
2017 Astro. You know.
So let's say if we do
No, but
resign
I mean-
Tanaka and they resign and they sign Verlander, let's say, and he rehabs for 1 year and he comes back for one more season, what would our rotation be? Cole, Severino,
Cole,
Tanaka,
Sevy,
Verlander,
Tanaka,
and Garcia,
It's pretty fucking good.
or Montgomery?
Yeah.
I
Did
don't
you
want
say
Montgomery.
No,
Well, Schmidt's going to be in that rotation next
Yeah,
year.
but think about it. If they
I'm
make a
saying
big
that if
trade,
you have
though,
Tanaka, Severino, Cole, and Verlander, who's your number 5?
Well, Verlander's not going to be pitching next year.
I'm saying in the next 2 years when he actually
how old
does
is he though?
pitch.
Like,
Well, we
how
get-
long do we wait?
He's
for?
38, so he would
Yeah,
be.
I don't want. I
all
really don't
next-
want a 40-year-old Verlander. I'll be honest.
Well, no, I mean, it would. I think he would be 39 once he comes back. But at that point, it's like you're taking a flyer on him. Like worst.
That's a
worst-
classic Yankees move. Just get the
Exactly. But
watch
that's
on
what I'm
the guy.
saying, though. Worst comes to worst, they just DFA him.
All right, yeah,
Like, where's the risk there at all?
there's none. I'll give you that.
Exactly. Thank you. So then I'm
You're
assuming next year our not our postseason, our opening day rotation would be Cole, Tanaka, Sevy, Devi.
Question
Do I
mark.
want to say Hap or Schmidt? Hap/Schmidt? Because I
I
think
don't think Hap is coming back.
What
I
about
think he might be.
What about Gumby?
I don't want to have to trick us again though.
I mean,
He looked really good. He got his deal, and then he looked like crap. And now he's good again.
And I'm just knocking on wood. I'm praying that Severino doesn't have any setbacks come spring training. That's all I can
okay.
say.
I say I didn't like Cole because he was a Houston Astro. There's no way I could ever like a Houston Astro. Obviously, I respected the guy. I knew he was good. But I mean, I couldn't say I liked Garrett Cole the past 2 years when he was on the Astros. Like, there's no way in hell. But back to Monty. That's a really tough Gotta look
He
at
has
because
good stuff.
he has
he just
such high
gets-
potential. But I
he
just
just
can't
gets-
trust him.
When I look at Monty, it reminds me of Andy Pettit. I don't know, just for some reason.
can't. I
What?
yeah.
We can't put Monty and Pettit in the same conversation.
tall lefty
just
that
saying.
doesn't throw hard and needs.
Maybe
to
the
look
way
pretty
he
good.
looks, but definitely not performance-wise.
No, but I think he means style-wise.
Big
Yeah.
lefty, sure.
No,
that's
like he
it.
doesn't have overpowering stuff he needs to locate.
All right,
his
big
good
lefty
stuff
who
to be
doesn't
good.
throw hard.
He wasn't calling him Andy Pettit, bro. He was just saying like he
He
reminded.
just said he reminded him of Andy Pettit.
It's like a comparison, bro. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, it's not like oh my god, Jordan Montgomery is Andy.
It's
Pettit.
like people comparing Devi Garcia to Pedro Martinez. Obviously, he's not Pedro Martinez, but
I'm with you, Para.
I feel like it's a reach. Not a fan of it. If anyone watching in the
bro,
chat,
you're not a fan of anything.
be on my
Let's be
side.
real.
What do you mean I'm not a
We're
fan
not
of
saying
anything?
he's going to be as good as Pettit. It's just like the same kind of style pitching.
Well, I don't see the comparison. I'm more with this one. Monty reminds me of a Pineda. That's more of what I'm thinking of a
That's
comparison
different.
wise.
Monty
That's
goes
different.
into a game next year with pine tar in his neck and his forearm, then I agree with you.
Oh, wait a minute.
On
We
Sunday
forgot about
Night
Domingo
Baseball.
Herman for next year.
No,
Fuck him.
I don't see him. I don't even see him being part of the rotation.
What do you mean, bro? If he comes into spring training and performs well, he's gonna be in that rotation. Are we assuming just because the domestic violence thing that the Yankees aren't
No,
gonna
it's-
deal with him?
It's not has
Because
nothing to.
you know that they don't care about that. Look at Chapman.
I'm not saying anything with the domestic.
Exactly.
They had a chance to bring him into the rotation first for the postseason this year, but they
I
didn't.
agree with
Yeah, I guess.
I agree with this one. Pettit and CC are more
That's
closely
only
related.
at the end of CC's career.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
he didn't
but
throw
I
as
think
hard.
it,
But going back to Verlander, you think if the Yankees offered him a 2-year, $10 million deal, would you do it?
I think he just doesn't
think
want
he
to come
would.
to the Yankees. If we're being
Well,
honest,
there's that,
Like,
but I think like length and money wise, I think so. He's made his money. He's 38.
I mean, his wife was a Yankee fan, so she might persuade him to go to New York.
yeah, but I think
She can
between
come to
all
New
the
York.
stuff that's happened over the past couple years, did you just say she can come to New York?
I did. You know,
Hate you, Sean.
they don't.
I think the answer to this question is no. I'm
No,
pretty sure
honestly,
he would be
wasn't it
eligible.
60 games? Wasn't it like 50 games or something like that?
Yeah, the suspension is definitely over because he would have been eligible for the playoffs if they
Yeah,
wanted him.
They just don't want to. They just don't want to ramp him up.
And also, don't forget AJ Hinch, Carlos Beltran, Alex Cora. All their suspensions finish up after even during this short season anyway. So
I actually saw like a report the other day that the Red Sox are interested in bringing back Alex Cora, which would surprise me not in the slightest. They love Alex Cora, you know that. I mean, they don't care about the whole cheating thing. They only got rid of him. I don't even think they got rid of him. Didn't he just resign?
yeah,
Yeah,
Mutually
so I
parted
could
ways,
definitely
so-
see him bring him.
did he ever get suspended or no?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did, right?
Beltran didn't though.
Beltran just left.
He just lost
Yeah.
his job, kind of like opportunity.
Imagine the Yankees would have signed him in 2017. I mean, not 2017. 2018.
No, like,
2018.
yeah, 2018.
Yeah, 2018. That's all I have to say. I'm pretty sure that's gonna wrap things up for us tonight. We went a solid ass time tonight, like 50 minutes. You guys have anything else to say?
Well, I think we're missing one thing.
Okay.
No, I know that's coming, but I mean, as far as
Okay.
Yankee wise, do we have anything else to say about tonight? The shit show, the sloppy defense, the Masahiro Tanaka. Anything else?
Is it bad I see the Yankees going into Yankee Stadium this weekend and losing 2 out of 3 to the Miami Marlins?
I don't think that's bad. I
If
think it's just
Sixto
realistic.
Sanchez pitches, we're probably going to lose that game.
I don't think he is because I'm pretty sure Brandon said last night on live, he was like, you know, I'm really disappointed we're not going to be able to see Sixto Sanchez against the Yankees this weekend. And I was like, Brandon,
He's
what do you mean
disappointed.
you're disappointed?
He's disappointed.
Like, I always like seeing good pitching matchups. Like, Brandon,
You think-
shut up.
You think he's watching right now?
I hope he is. Brandon, I'm going to send you this video.
I think Brandon's watching it on both his Twitter accounts.
All 5 of them. Wait, who is pitching this weekend anyway? None of the starters are announced yet. But
Probably
Monty's
like
going tomorrow. So then who goes on
Hap.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Hap,
Devi pitches one of those
Devi.
games, I'm assuming.
probably Hap, Devi, and
And then opener.
like King. Some shit.
Didn't
Like
they
that.
send King down?
Oh yeah, they did. They did.
So I don't know.
Who
Miguel
knows?
Yajure, I have no idea.
Clark Schmidt. Oh,
That
6-0
could
pitch
be an
tonight.
option.
Thank you, Earl. Thank you,
Oh,
Earl.
6-0 pitch tonight.
Yeah, he's definitely not pitching then.
Yeah.
Thank God. That would have sucked.
Wait, whatever happened with the Twins game, by the way?
They're winning.
Are
The
they?
Tigers suck. Yeah. It was
Are you
7-3.
sure
when we
about that?
started
Oh, it's
recording.
7-3 in the ninth. Yeah. So the Twins are basically gonna have first place after tonight. So that means Yankees White Sox wild card series?
I mean, I wouldn't hate it. I don't know.
I wouldn't hate it, but I wouldn't
if
love
we
it.
do
either.
have to play Chicago, there's a good chance the Yankees might get home field.
I
Because
mean,
Chicago-
it just depends. Like if the Yankees keep losing and committing 4 errors per game.
I'm just saying if we do win, because the White Sox are playing the Cubs this weekend.
But are the Cubs playing for anything? That's my question.
Yeah.
What are they playing for?
Do they already have that
They
division?
clinched
I mean, they
playoff.
could be playing for the second seed, but right now they're 2 games behind? Yeah, so
Did
I
they
guess they
clinch that
are
division
playing for
yet?
something. Yeah, I think.
No, they didn't clinch it yet. Well, they're going to.
Well, they're 3 games up, so I'm assuming it's like any day now. But
Just looking at all these records, it doesn't. It just feels weird that this is your records for playoff contention.
no, but I was gonna say, like, I feel like the season went by at like a long kind of pace, just because there's been so many ups and downs. It
I was
feels
gonna
like
say,
it was 162 games.
If the Yankees had like 44 wins right now, we'd be like, wow, that went by fast. That was really
Opening
quick.
day was 2 months ago. That feels like 6 months ago.
That feels
Shout
like
out to that. Remember, we had to wait an hour just for them to announce that the game is done.
One.
O-
Oh
opening
my
day.
god! On opening day, that was brutal.
It's just started.
We waited
pouring
like
and
I think it was like 2 hours.
Remember
I remember
Soto
sitting
got
there
COVID?
waiting.
It started at
Yeah.
9:00. It started at 9:00. They didn't call the game until 11:00.
Yeah, Juan Soto had COVID that night, right?
Yeah, and
COVID
everyone's
still
like, oh,
playing.
MLB's really shut down.
Also, let me go on another quick rant before we wrap things up tonight. The mass media in MLB is probably livid right now because from the beginning of the season, all they were doing was just hyping up COVID, saying there's no way they're going to be able to play this season. The Marlins, the whole team's infected. It's only a matter of time before the whole league is infected.
Kind of.
I have not heard one story about COVID in 2 months.
I think the last cancellation was someone.
Yeah, when was the last time?
It wasn't a player. It was a member of an organization of the A's. I want to say
But that's what I'm saying. I mean,
A's or Giants.
the
last
sports,
postponement I believe baseball has had is because of the California wildfires.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The baseball media world should be ashamed of
Mhm.
themselves because I saw so many reporters from so many major outlets basically fighting for the season to be canceled, saying that the season wouldn't be able to happen.
I mean,
And now here we are 4 games away from the end of the regular season.
I mean, I kind of
I'll
believe
be
they
honest, though.
pushed the whole. I don't think it had anything to do with COVID. It had mostly to do with how MLB approached the plan of having a 60-game season. Because they kept tossing these ideas that they're going to start in June, they're going to start by 4th of July.
Yeah, but I think it went as best as possible. I think that obviously we knew there was going to be some cases, but I think best case scenario kind of worked out. The worst case scenario was that the season didn't finish, and the season finished with the minimal amount of problems.
But let's be honest, a lot of us were optimistic that it wasn't going to finish.
Yeah,
well, the Marlins were pretty scary.
but that's only because of
scenario.
what like this baseball media world kept telling everybody. But yeah, like Vinny said, last time I heard about COVID was the Mets when 2 players got it, and that was a month ago. So I definitely think that the league kind of got themselves together once the whole Marlins and Cardinals thing happened, and everyone took more precautions. And overall, I think this season was solid. And now I'm looking forward to the postseason. And while I think the first round should be in the bubble as well, only because it doesn't make sense to have teams play in their home stadium for the first round and then leave.
Well, that's what
I'm
happens when you
hoping
make
that
a
goes
decision a
through
week
as well.
ago.
Yeah, I think that is just completely stupid.
They had
if you're gonna have a
3
bubble,
solid months to figure this the fuck out.
that's
and
what
they-
I'm saying.
Like,
And then you also acknowledge the fact that there's no off days in the playoffs. Like
that's such bad
3 weeks
planning.
before.
Yeah, you tell teams 5 days ago that, oh yeah, no, by the way, in a week and a half, no off days.
It's just stupid. But I mean,
Like, I think the Yankees would have made a trade deadline move if they knew that.
I agree
They
100%.
100%.
But
I
hopefully
digress.
the bubble the bubble format does work. I know we mentioned before that basically every game this postseason will be a road game for the Yankees. So I guess we're just gonna have to hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
I'm prepared.
And before we wrap things up tonight, I think we know the usual drill here. Let me put the banner up on the screen really quick. Got to give a quick shout out to Dugout Mugs. Get your very own engraved baseball bat drinking mug. Tell me not this is a solid mug. Like, look at this. Beautiful, beautiful. Engraved Yankees logo. They have engraved logos from all 30 Major League Baseball teams. Actually, 29 besides the Marlins because the Marlins suck. But also, please do not put your Dugout mug on the carpet. I put mine on the carpet. Spilled my drink everywhere. Good thing it was water. If it was something else, it would have stained. So everyone head over to dugoutmugs.com/unhinged and purchase your very own today. Not only do they have mugs, but they have wine glass, shot glasses, and bottle openers. What do you guys think? Should we end it with the end screen tonight or with the Brian clip? Pick one.
Brian.
I'm gonna
All right.
have to vote Brian.
So thanks to everyone on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter for watching us tonight. Let's hope the Yankees could salvage the series tomorrow night. Then after that, we only got 4 games left of the season tonight, actually. So we'll see you guys tomorrow night and have a good one. Enjoy, Brian.
See ya.
We cannot wait until Brett Gardner's number is retired. It's just he's going to be in the festival in Monument Park. He's going to be waving the